Oh, hey. Look, I think it worked. Just had to give the rebuffer and triple H buffer or something. I don't know. What? Hello?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Oh, heck yeah.
I used to put us up on some satellite somewhere. You'd be selling your Johnson Ranger for $50 and some guy in Botswana would want to buy it.
What? Trying to get this set up. The SNR is not really... I bet I could get that to work better, but I don't know. It's kind of more of a relative thing. Let's see.
Yeah, don't beat your brains out. You know, if I can hear what's coming across and make a few changes here and get a relative, that's exactly what I need.
Well, the decay is really slow on that. I don't know how you change that either, but it's like works pretty good. You'll be able to. This is good data or data or what is the correct way to say that?
Beats the heck out of me. I don't know. I don't do that anymore, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think I've ran into one or two people that have gotten have cared about that, but it seems like semantics to me. As long as you know what I meant. I went and put my other normal element back in this thing, and I forgot to switch it back to average mode. There you go. You poor meter. It was like, backwards C, backwards C.
I need attention, I need attention.
It's a good meter. Give it attention. It's really cool. Like 241, Mike was really proud of this thing because they have another stupid version where the line section is built into the top of it, so you have to bring like your coax that you're measuring like to it. You know, like what good is that? So he found the one that was like remotable.
Yeah, it's nice having stuff owned by your friends who are dearly departed. This radio is one of them.
Yeah, look at that. It's on the air.
I had some metal filings that were embedded into several of my fingers, and I can't find them now. What the heck's going on? The metal filing fairy come and suck them out of my fingers while I was sleeping? What the heck?
Well, I was going to say as long as you're not going to get an MRI anytime soon, but then I kind of paused and thought about it, like,
You see, there was a guy that got killed by a flying, I think it was an oxygen bottle. He was at an MRI place, and this thing killed him.
No, I didn't hear about that, but I've seen stuff on YouTube or like the internet of bottles of, it might not have been oxygen, but, you know, ripping around and causing some real devastation.
From an MRI or from a car accident?
I think it was on like the deck of a boat or something, like a big ship.
There was one that I saw several times where there was a truck carrying a whole bunch of bottles. And it flipped over, and these bottles were everywhere, man. Some of them were spinning around. I mean, you know, just what you would imagine would happen is what happened. And they got it all on a recording. Not a good day at work for that guy.
Oh, it's like a dash cam or something.
Yep.
I might have seen that, or I might just be imagining exactly what it looks like. That chair sounds good, man. I had to oil mine because it was like, it was too much. Like when I wasn't on the radio and stuff, it was like, meh, meh. It was getting real bad. Oh, Boo Boo's looking at me now. Hi, Boo Boo. But yeah, I had to put a little WD on it. This is a good chair though. It's from William Patterson University. When we did all the demo over there, I used this. This was like my eating luncheon chair for like a long time, and then I was like, damn, I'm bringing this thing with me. It's you can't buy a chair like this in a place. Like you have to buy like 1,000 of them. They're like industrial, really built, like very substantial chair.
There's something wrong with all you ham radio operators. You all have those same weird things with weird chairs, commercial stuff.
Hang on.
I don't get it. Women? No. We would buy a nice new chair that doesn't squeak. You guys want squeaky chairs. I don't get it. What's wrong with you?
Hi, Ada.
Hi, Billy. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thanksgiving. If I don't talk to you, I'm going to let you guys be. I just came down to see Dave, check on him.
Alrighty then. She offered to throw the switch on this thing when I got it working. I'm like, nah, not this time.
Dude, that's so funny. But, yeah. No, it's a good chair. I alternate between this and like the straight up, like armchair, cushiony, doesn't move around at all chair.
Man, this metal maggot won't come out of my finger. I guess that's from all the industrial stuff that I like.
It's probably industrial metal.
It's funny. You guys are all the same. You like stuff that doesn't break ever.
Well, yeah. This is the chair behind me, the one I'm talking about, the like armchair kind of couchy chair, is the same one we had. We were living in Berkeley Heights, and it's got the same rips in it from Petey. Rest in peace. Like it's just, this thing has been around. It's got vibes, man.
Yeah, you can't get rid of that. Your dog ripped it up. It's irreplaceable.
And it's always been my favorite chair, and like it still is. It's still comfortable. Just, it's not going to really impress anybody who's like into furniture or something, but like if you're into sitting down in a very comfortable chair that this is literally the same chair you've been sitting in since your adolescence, that's good chair. Maybe not good furniture, but I don't even know what that means.
W2 very weak. Yeah, like it's an old friend, and it's built so well that if somebody ever dropped the big one and there was nothing left of civilization, somebody someday might find that chair and say, hey, I wonder if BTK ever sat in this chair. That's all that's left of this whole entire city.
Exactly. I think Big Blue would still be there, for sure. A couple of other things in here, like maybe some of these transformers and stuff.
I tell you what, man, those transformers, after seeing what happened with this thing, when it faulted, yeah, they're pretty good. I think they're really good, Billy.
I got all of the stuff from that gate kicking around. So it's interesting. Like, people that come to my house kind of like walk past it like, oh, like don't say anything. You know, they don't want to know about it.
Yeah, well, hey, if you get your 810 rig percolating, you might want to get the kHz, the Hispanic transmitter going. And you get on 75 meters and find I can't fix it Phil, and give him a piece of your mind.
Yeah. I'd have a lot of fun with that, I think. I mean, I don't even think I would say that much. Just maybe say things that are close to things that would disturb him and then pretend I can't hear him.
Last time I heard him on, he was on with his brother, and both of them were drunk. And they were talking about, they were talking about some stuff.
Well, he's an asshole, but that would be a cool rig to have on 75. It's ready to go on 160. I was gonna kind of get it going on 160, and then I'd have a couple different rigs, you know, like you could get on 160 real quick, because like you just flip over to the 160 transmitter, and then you got the 810 ready to go up here or something, and then I don't know, I've never had anything like that.
Yeah, that's a really good thing to have it like that, because if you want to get on the air, you don't want to have to change things around and mess with this, and then put it in a state where you'll have to move it back again. Yeah, that's a good way to go. Pick a rig.
You could be up here on 160, and then I've got a dedicated 6-meter rig here, 6-meter exciter, and then, I mean, the Harris, if I had, I don't know, something that, well, I've got the QAM setup is amazing for that, just that delay. But I mean, you know, I got used to that a little bit. Like it doesn't key up any later, you know, so like I can still break in, but I have to anticipate when I'm gonna key up and start speaking just before I key up to have my voice come out at the same time I key. Or I can just key up and you don't hear anything for a split second, you know, and most people can tell when somebody keys up, you know.
Especially when you're using a Yankee Charlie 156 at 6,000 volts.
Exactly. You know, I already tested it and it works. I ran that rig for a while. It just, the hardest thing to get used to, I ran it break-in, you know, and the hardest thing to get used to was when I unkey, is that you don't miss the last bit of what I'm, you know?
There are guys that do that all the time. I don't know if you ever heard the guys on 1895 when we're on down there. And there's one guy in that group that does that all night long. He says his call, and you never hear his call.
WTB. Like that.
W2B. W. And nothing about this. I don't want to hear any damn excuse. People can't TR. Really annoys me when they do that. Oh, I gotta throw 4 switches.
Why don't you automate them?
I mean, I've got a few friends like that they don't want to get on the air or work break-in on AM. I'm like, really?
Yeah, I'm worried about like around a 1 second delay when I key up, throwing 4 switches and crap. I've seen videos of guys running a real old stuff where they gotta throw a bunch of switches and this and that. And it's like an old dude doing it. He's reaching up, doing it all. It takes like, I don't know, like 10 seconds. And then he starts talking and it's like, it's chilled out. It's not really like breaking.
Yeah, a lot of guys used to do that. Yeah, but that was then. That's a long time ago. That's like 40 years ago. That was kind of cool, maybe. Now, not so much.
Yeah. I guess I get it. You're like turning on the transmitter and this and that, and then like you're on the air for like a minute or two, you know. Then you listen, it just like, I don't know, other than just having a foot pedal.
So you said Nick has a special call. What's it for? Sweepstakes?
I'm not too sure. I could call him back and see exactly what he's doing now that things have settled down here. He called me right when I was trying to set up the thing, and I was listening to you and listening to him. I was like, man.
Yeah, there's some sensory overload.
I could call him back, put him on speaker. Why don't I do that? Let's see what he has to say.
Yeah, why not? W2 is very weak.
Yeah, Nick's got. He's only got. I think he said 7 watts. And he's trying with a dipole over there, 10-meter resonant dipole, I think. So he was making contacts and stuff, but just couldn't. I don't think he could. We could hear him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's sometimes the way it is. Resonant dipole on 10 meters. I don't know if I've ever run a resonant dipole on 10 meters. Ever. I'm trying to remember.
I think I did once. It's like the first base antenna I ever tried to use. And I don't know, I guess it worked okay. Coax coming out of my room. But the balanced transmission line is a good trick. And I can see why, AM stations that got, the big commercial ones would do it that way sometimes. But I guess a lot of them use coax and towers and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, Nick's out there. He's got Whiskey 3 Alpha is his special event call. Oh, I guess look him up.
What's the event?
I'm not sure. I actually didn't ask.
W2VW. Well, we had W2A when we were up there 2009 at Alpine. That was fun. That was a whole lot of fun. I got a call from one of the ham club guys that was part of the official Okie Dokie club, ham club that was up there. And he's like, how come you didn't let us know about that?
Oh, you know what? I'm using the spacers from that feed line, the Lexan spacers. That's what I have on this antenna right now. Right meow.
Yeah, I thought you still had some of that. Probably most of it got wrecked by now, I would think, up there on that mountain.
I still have the green feed line, some of it, I think. And I think there's like a black number 12 or something. It's on a reel still. That was from whenever I took it down. I was using it at my parents' house. Took it down, put it back on the reel. And I think I stole some of those Lexan spacers to build this antenna.
Yeah. I forget now. I think that had like 7.5-inch spacing or something. It was number 8, right?
Yeah. It was either 8 or 6, or that might have been 8. Yeah, that green stuff. And then I think what I have over here is actually... No, I think it's 8 also. Can't remember anymore. I was going to say 6, but that's really heavy. I think it's 8. And then the rest is 10.
Yeah, I can tell you that I never built feeders of anything larger than number 8. Number 8's good stuff, Billy.
Yeah, it gets me on 160 without puckering. And yeah, the wide spacing is, it's good. It works everywhere. So I don't really put too much thought into it.
Yeah, the old AM radio stations, some of them were horizontally polarized. I think most of them were. But that's going back years and years. way back there, Billy.
Yeah, hear that, boo-boo? Oh, she heard that. She looks concerned. I wonder what that means in cat.
Let me go turn my heater variac up.
Okay. Yeah, Boo Boo says stuff. She's a lot to say. And she actually, like, mimics what I say, too. Like, she'll come over and be like, hello. Because I always say hello to her. It's pretty cool. She tries to say I love you, too.
Yeah. They're really something, kitties. They're very, very, very smart. Smarter than stupid Americans. They are nothing but trouble, you stupid Americans. Hello, 5. 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. That'll be a good one for the recording. Yuri. Yeah.
Man. Stupid Americans. That's kind of what I was thinking this morning. Like, dude, he pulled out of some, like, I don't know, little convenience store or something in this huge, like, beautiful, like, new shiny F-350. And, you know, it had all the new, like, LED lights, and this thing is lit up like Christmas tree. It's all, like, factory stuff, it looked like. And this thing was decked out. And then, like, he came on the road and he's gonna pass me, you know, we're passing each other head on. He's on the other side. And I was just like, oh my, dude, like, I can't see anything. Like, what the, you know, like, it was just blinding. I was like, damn, it's like, that's the F-350, you know? I got bought an F-350. You know, like, it's just, you want to sit higher than the next guy and have brighter lights and bigger truck, and, like, I was just like, damn, dude, damn, like, I can't see. Like, I could see the outline of each individual diode, like, in my vision for the next, like, 5 miles.
Nice truck. Sorry about your penis.
But yeah, it's just like the most American thing. Like, I'm gonna buy a F-350, you know, like, look at this, all decked out, you know. It's like, damn, I was blind.
Yeah, they got a crap load of lights on the front of them. I know exactly what you're talking about. I was coming down Route 1 here. We were in Nueva Heresy. We were like 3 hours away, and Ada wants me to drive home these days. I'm like, I don't need to practice like you do, honey, but I'll drive. Anyway, this guy gets in back of me on one of those things, and he's like riding my tail, and I'm going 20 miles an hour over the speed limit already. I'm like, sorry, dude, but no. And I give him some room to pass me. He won't pass me, but he still wants to ride my ass. So then finally, we get to a red light, and he decides he's going to pull up next to me.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I have this theory, like, you know how, like, all the little import cars and the Hondas with the fart can exhausts and everything were, they were, like, more hip in, like, 90s, early 2000s stuff, but that crowd, they were, like, the ricers, you know? I'm not trying to be, like, racist or anything, but, like, that's what you would call them. Like, we all know that, right?
Everybody knows what a ricer is.
Right, so the ricers, that crowd or whatever. So my theory here is that the equivalent, like, that has kind of burned out, And the new, like the 2025 equivalent of like the Ricer is the average pickup truck driver these days. I think that I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Well, you're on something, Billy, because as people get older, they drive bigger vehicles. That's what Ford banked on. Look at the Thunderbirds of the late 50s. They made them into giant behemoths for a while. And they did the same thing with the Mustang. They made it bigger and bigger until they didn't.
Well, yeah, that probably plays way into it. It's like, I noticed that it's always the pickup trucks now. It's like riding your ass or weaving in and out of traffic or just accelerating like aggressively everywhere and driving around like, you know, like you would see back in the day, like the Honda Civic with the big exhaust pulling out of the gas station or whatever, like weaving around like it was Tokyo Drift or something. That's like kind of how the pickup trucks do it. And now they got all these extra lights and light up kits and rims and exhausts, and it's like the pickup. Yeah. Wow. W2BTK.
W2VW. Well, I could tell you that the guy, that was like a really big truck too. It was an F300, I think, or something, whatever it was. It had 8 lugs and all that, you know, so it had real truck tires and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there's no way that's going to keep up with OPEC. Ada said something to me. I'm like, it's a Ford. Don't worry.
Yeah, I don't know. It's heavy as hell. The ones that are dualies, that's expensive, like a dually F350, like decked out truck is these days. Like it's got to be well into 6 digits, you know, because most cars like SUV, this and that, are like almost to that 6-digit mark already.
Oh yeah, if we want to replace OPEC, it's going to be up there almost. My Mercedes was 106K when it was new in 1995.
Yeah, I mean that's sick money. That's like, I don't know why anybody would do that. And then I know that like they're gonna start a lot of easing right now, so it'll change. But the way interest rates and crap were, like, it's just holy smokes, man. I figure like you just scrape together like $5 or $6 grand and go buy something very used that still runs okay and just get by. You could do that, you know, like over 10 times before you're spending as much on a new car.
Could do that. I have done that.
I mean, that's how I would roll. I just don't like, I have traumas from debt. You know, I finally have washed myself of a lot of it. I just can't bring myself to assume any new debt.
Yeah, I hear you. Because it just eats you alive. I mean, that's what it does. That's how it works.
Yeah. Eats you, it just, yeah. So I would totally do it that way, but I don't know. Everyone is in a different, you know, everyone's situation's different.
Well, I know a few people that have been very financially smart and responsible, and all of them are headed for the crapper physically. And what's going to happen after they're gone is somebody else is going to get the use of all of that money, and they're going to blow it with a capital B.
Yeah. It's, I don't know. There's going to be a lot of transfer of wealth coming up now, you know, like it's really morbid to talk about, but people my age who have parents my age and everything, you know, that's going to be like a pretty large transfer from generation to generation, like as a whole.
Yeah, and the whole deal is they're trying to wreck generational wealth, you know, by taxing and all these wonderful laws, all this crap. That's why Mikey was trying to get a hold of me. He's ticked off. I know somebody's picking his pocket somewhere. He was expressing his very unhappiness with things that are going on right now, which he's gone back to the old Mikey.
I was almost gonna say it, but I'll say it, I guess. I miss Mikey sometimes.
Hey, Mikey was a lot of fun. He was a whole hell of a lot of fun. So was Dougie.
Yeah. Man. Then, what was the other dude who would get on ham radio with us? Damn, I forget. Like, we talked to him on 6 meters. Crap.
Trying to, who are you talking about? Where did he talk with us?
On 75 meters, and it's been a while. Daryl.
Oh, Daryl. Yeah, he's still around.
I can't even remember what his 6 meter call was.
He used to text me. It's been like a year and a half. He would text me, and it'd be these long, I need for you to set me one of these up like so-and-so got. You know, he thought I was Dave. That Dave, not this Dave. He thought I was that Dave. I don't know how he got that idea, but it was kind of funny.
Oh, yeah, you told me he was texting you like that. Did you ever text him back or have fun with it?
The last time I didn't. The first time I did. I don't know where he got that idea. And I forget how I gave him my number even.
Yeah, I used to text with him too, like, it's been a very long time.
Hey, who can you hear down this way on this band that you could hear on 6? Anybody else besides me and Pete?
Well, I haven't really tried talking to too many people. I mean, you, Pete, and 6'4" are the only, like, regulars in my receiver on 6 meters, and then whoever else shows up for the classical roundup.
You know, those guys bust me every week about not being on there. I'm like, nope, I'm getting this working first, and then I'll worry about that.
Well, when the DX started to become a problem, I kind of shied away, and I really haven't kept up with it. I kind of just like forgot about it. But at this point, it's pretty easy for me to, like, I have everything separate. Like, there's this rig, and then the 6 meter rig is actually totally separate, including the antenna. So I could do a really fast changeover there. It's just a little bit of plumbing behind Big Blue to swap one coax to the other on the line section there. And then, well, actually, yeah, I got to do a little plumbing with the exciters too, but it's just a little plumbing.
W2BTK from W2VW. Yeah, well, I think the dog X-ray is probably quite annoying there right now, so it's a good time not to be there.
W2VW from W2BTK. Yeah. So that's what I figure. I haven't been like checking in or anything, or I haven't even seen the videos lately. But yeah, if it's a bunch of skip talking, then I'm out.
Yeah. Well, have you? I guess not, because I don't think Steve, the guy that came to your house, I don't know if he got his, he got himself an AL82, I think it is, the one that's got the 3CX 1200A7 in it. And I guess he bought it from some guy from Texas and had it shipped up here or something like that. Anyway, the thing works great, but it doesn't work on 10 meters. But it's had the 10-meter modification. And he was looking for somebody to get it working for him. I don't know if he did that or not. But I would imagine that you haven't worked him on this band, but you probably could once you got that going.
I've worked him on 6 meters, but he's usually coming into the QSO as I'm going.
Yeah, he's a night owl.
Tell you what though, all the walking around I gotta do at work does get, like, I feel a little tired. Like, you'd think it was just like easy stuff, but I'm actually kind of tired. Maybe the same amount almost, really. Because I did spend a lot of time on a ladder today, too. I heard you yawn.
Yeah, I had a long day. I've used up a lot of, I made a lot of fat into BTUs today.
Well, that's good. Why not, right? I can't remember if you're doing like firewood full bore again this year.
Yeah, I got that going on. I'm moving this dirt. I still have to move the shed. Everything I have to do is dirty bull work. That's me.
Man, that stuff sucks. That's what I was doing on these solar sites, man. Just like, hurry up, get in that ditch, run this stuff so the ditch is filled with 3 feet of water. It's like, all right, yeah, we're gonna get that pumped out, and then like you can do it, go ahead. And like, it's like, then just nothing's happening. 2 hours later, it's like, do you get that pipe ran? It's like, dude, there's still 3 feet of water in that ditch. It's like, oh, you're supposed to pump that out. Like, oh man, like, oh geez. And then they're gonna like write down the number of feet of pipe you ran that day for the boss man to look at. No explanation. So you're like, oh man, like you just go in the 3 feet of water and like walk around and like make it look like you're like, oh, like I'm really trying, like, and there's just like, I don't know. I hate that crap.
Yeah, it's really stupid because it's a waste of resources due to poor planning.
That's how the whole thing ran like that, And it's common now. It's ugh.
Yeah, I guess things are going downhill. Well, I know it's probably past your bedtime by now anyways.
I'm feeling all right. It's like Friday and all that. But Boo Boo's hanging out. I'm not like especially tired. I just physically tired a bit from walking around so much. I was remarking like you'd think it would be like nice, but it actually does make you feel kind of tired doing that kind of control work and crap. Just the building is huge.
Yeah, you're using your brain. That takes more out of you than you think. And depending on how you walk around, if you're carrying some stuff and you've got a really good pace, it's good exercise. If you're moving at a half a mile an hour, no.
Yeah, well, I always move with purpose. That's, and it ends up that I move pretty good.
Yeah, I get that. Well, anyway, let's see here if I can do another dynamic headroom test. Hello, 1 2 3 4 5 5 4 3 2 1. This is W2VW testing dynamic range. Hello, testing for gain compression. 1 2 3 4 5 5 5. Yeah, Billy. I don't know, you hearing anything funky besides too much bass when I do that?
Not really. It sounded great.
I guess this thing's gonna live. All right, let me get rid of this. That's really stupid. Actually, when you think about it, the whole thing's rather stupid.
I got some good drum recordings over here, man. They just sound good.
Yeah, that's nice when you can get good recording. The one guy I talked to in the UK is a drummer. I think I told you this. He sent me a recording of a bunch of his stuff he does. He's a jazz drummer, and he's got some ensemble. He's played a bunch of places over there. I think that's what he does for a living. And man, I only heard one song because of stupid iPhone. But anyway, the one I heard, it was great. I loved the way that his drum kit was tuned and everything, and he's a good player. And he's like, I didn't really even tune it that way on purpose. I'm like thinking to myself, is that always how it works?
I don't know. You can spend a lot of time tuning drums or not. I mean, I never was big on it, but I have messed with it, and it does make big changes. The kind of heads you have are really what dictates how it sounds, But I was messing around over here trying stuff out, this and that. Crap! I was totally gonna say something, and I brain farted. The hell was I gonna say? What was I gonna say, Dave?
We were talking about getting a good drum recording.
Yeah, but it was something else.
The drum heads?
Oh, no, I was going to say a recording. I'd recommend, if you want to hear a really, really, really good sounding drum recording, maybe one of the best I've ever heard, there's a band called American Football. And their very first LP, which I think is also called American Football, or LP1 maybe. There's the first track on it, Never Meant, is the name of the song. Just, man, listen to that drum kit.
I think I can remember that.
Yeah, American Football, Never Meant.
Alrighty, turn it on at 4:20 p.m.
Nice. I've got that. I bought the, 25th year anniversary, 25 years since it was released, deluxe edition, and it's 2 LPs just because they decided to do it 45 RPM, so they couldn't fit it all on one A and B, which is pretty cool because 45 is better fidelity, I'm pretty sure.
So they're running a full size, what's normally a 33 1/3 at 45 RPMs.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh. I've heard they made that 33 1/3 and that size record because they were stuck with that size record and they needed to be able to fit a motion picture soundtrack on it. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, you can fit more songs or more minutes or whatever at 33 1/3, but I think 45 is better audio fidelity.
Well, yeah, your SNR will be improved. The higher the speed you go, a lot of the errors go down, and you can master it probably much harder and do stuff dynamically that you can't do at 33 1/3. Yeah. Nicky Badwires knows a lot about that stuff, and there used to be another guy on AM, KC2IFR, but he's a silent key, but he used to work with people that mastered the Beatles records, and he used to tell stories about it. And there's another guy up in Westchester that I bought this SB220 amplifier, SB200 that I was using for an IPA. I bought that from him for parts, and he rebuilds mastering machines and all this obsolete electronic. He's got a business doing all that stuff. And that's the guy, when I went there with Ada, they thought she was some kind of a singer or something, and they sat her down at this console that they had at their house, and they started changing the plugins and letting her listen to it. She was like playing along, man. They had triode amplifiers, tube amplifiers, and high efficiency speakers, and they're like, how's this sound? You know, and the wife was like, try this. Yeah, that was really fun and entertaining.
Dude, I've heard of, they'd stick like what they call a producer knob on the console or whatever, and it's basically just a completely dead channel that you could grab any knob on that channel, it didn't do anything. When the producer would come around, be like, oh, like I want to hear more like shine on the vocals, like, and I want you to push and shine up the vocals a little more through this verse here or something. You'd be like, oh, well, you know, like let me show you, like, here's the top end here, and you can just kind of whatever, and you show them that, you let them like put their hand on it or whatever, and oh yeah, right there, that's better, and it's like not doing anything. Or same thing I've done live, you know, like you just stand there and you tweak something a little bit, or like pretend to, and like as long as you're doing something or moving and like looking up at the musician, like, and really making it like, oh, like, what about that? No, it's like, oh, here, that's it. You know, like they'll be like, oh yeah, like good job. They just want to see you sweating, you know. And if you don't want to touch it because it's already way too loud or something and it's about to feed back, you just do that dance, and like they believe you.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of that, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Too bad Bear's not around.
Oh, Bear. I haven't spoke to Bear in a while.
Yeah, did your headaches stop?
Yeah, now that you mention it.
Yeah, he is a definite audiophile, true believer. I mean, that's the way it is. If not, it doesn't really exist. Hello, let's see here. Okay, that's back where it was. All right, well, this thing has definitely survived the torture test.
Yeah, that's good stuff. And now you can see exactly what it sounds like in my receiver.
Yeah, I was almost taking full advantage of the slug device there earlier.
That's good stuff. No, the video you sent me, there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I had it up to 40 mils of grid current on peaks, but it was about half that. Hell, I don't know, almost doubles, which is really stupid. It shouldn't do that, but whatever.
You got that natural asymmetry, man. If you don't want it to do that anymore, just turn on your phase rotator.
Yeah, I have one of those here. I've never hooked it up. I have the circus board from one of the guys that wrote the big article on why you need this.
The all-pass filter. I've got one here. It just screws up my modulation, really. I'm gonna cycle it in. Let's see. All right, now I've got the phase rotated thing. I still have a better than, it's slightly better than 100, but every once in a while I'll pop in there, but it just looks weird. And I don't have the negative peaks that I had before. Let's see, now take that out. Yeah, see, everything is just a little happier.
Yeah. AB it some more. Or maybe you're not really changing it.
No, all right. So this is with no phase rotator, all right? And now I have the phase rotator in, and it's doing something. They call it a decorrelator in Wheatstone speak. All right, I'm going to take that out. Now I have no phase rotator. Now it's back in. The phase rotator. There we go. And now it's back out again. W2 BTK.
I have a good recording of this, man. I don't know how well it'll come across, but I'll send it to you. I gotta make good recordings like you make. I mean, what I'm doing here is garbage.
It's effective, though.
You know what I think about it, and I still think the same thing. And if the recording bears it out, then you may think the same thing.
What, it's the testicle removal button?
And if not that, it just makes you sound old.
Well, technically, I am old now. As of August 11th this year, I'm old.
Oh, I get that. I understand that. As far as lifting weights, I was at my physical peak at age 42, though, bud. So.
Yeah, no, that's probably about right. But I just noticed in the past year or two, my eyesight, when the light is crappy, is like no longer there. And that's like the first thing.
Yeah. Yep. Man, that was the worst part for me, working in New York and having to go in at night. Toward the end, I would always drive because they were trying to economize and they didn't want to get you a black car anymore. And I could always take the bus in, but I couldn't get back home unless I stayed there all night. You know, if you're done at work at 2 in the morning, you don't want to stay there until 7:30. But I did that many times. But towards the end, I started driving it. Oh, man, if I ever had to do any close work, like some of those nights at the World Trade Center when we were getting that thing put together, I didn't do a lot of work there, but I did some work there, and my eyes were shot. I couldn't see signs on the way home.
Yeah, it's rough. I know now what it's like. Like even today, I was just getting like frustrated. Like, I just couldn't see well up in the ceiling grid with like one tile or two tiles open, mounting all this crap up there, doing all this. It's like, man, it's just frustrating. Like, I couldn't see.
You know, maybe the spectrum of light that you're using for a work light is not the best that you could have.
Well, you have a work light, then, you know, that's pretty fancy for what we got going on. Usually it's like you take your cell phone out and you try to see with that, or, you know, you just work with whatever light is there coming up through the tile that you open.
You know, bring your Ryobi flashlight to work, you know, see if that's any better.
Yeah, they had a flashlight here, and since I'm working in one spot, it was effective. But usually, like, you know, you're running around pulling wire or something, like, you gotta just go, and you can't drag around a flashlight with you or anything like that, you know? It's not reasonable enough for something like that, usually. I can't say that about what I'm doing right now, though. It's nice. So they went and got the DeWalt Deluxe. I just popped that up there, and it was great.
It's really dumb to work people like that. That's just dumb.
Well, I mean, you know, that's what we got, man. 10 years of that now.
Yeah, that comes and goes. I've had some places I worked at that were really bad, but it's been a long time. Memories are fading. Although I was out to dinner with somebody who still works at that place, so I get to hear about it all the time.
Yeah. Just, you know, it's every job now, like you said, just something got screwed up, bad planning, this or that, you know, so it just comes down to the wire and everyone's just like, ah, you know, and then that's usually the point where you show up on like a call, you know.
Yes, they called you for a reason.
And it's just the way it is, you know, and then it's like, it doesn't matter what you do, you know, you go hide. As long as you come back from break on time, like you're an all-star. If it's a lot of guys on the job, and then if you try to get involved and do good and make things go, I mean, you know, you just, even if you win, you're gonna fail.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. What are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna be good to the top of the hour, and then that's gonna be it for me. 'Cause I'm gonna be back at this tomorrow morning, man. I'm gonna work me some dog X-ray right here.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. I shouldn't stay up all late and sleep in and crap. I should get up tomorrow. Let's see what's going on. This crystal's cool. I'm into this. I've been in one spot on the spectrum this whole time. This is kind of new development for me.
Yeah. You haven't had to get up 5 times.
No, it's kind of nice. Or, you know, I just don't have to be quite as self-conscious, you know, or try to, like, because I'd be way high when I start out, and as it warms up, I'd cross over, and then I'd be on frequency maybe for like one transmission, and then I'd be like way low, you know, but then I could sit here the whole time. It's just how low it drifted. Get a little self-conscious, you know, but only when like certain people are on the air who would say something about it.
Yeah, I very rarely heard you far enough off to make a difference on 10. But I'm listening with, there's no IF filter in the final IF in this. So the only filters are very, very gentle roll-off, mostly coils, and I think there's one resonator in there. It's 73 megahertz, the high IF. And that's it. That's what I use here. If I want more narrow, I either go to the sub receiver or I hook up the dongle to the first IF out and I use that as the detector and filter. And that works okay, but I unhooked all that crap because I don't have a computer down here. And I was getting RFI into the last IF somehow from the DTV dongle I was using. It was making crap and it was getting into the receiver. It wasn't isolated, even though I had like a source follower output. It wasn't isolating. I never did figure that out.
Whoa. Like those ones you plug in DTV dongle. I think I remember those. I can't remember exactly what the hell it does or what it plugs into. Doesn't that go in your computer to like give you a TV or somehow? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a dongle. It's a little bigger than a memory stick. It's got a little port on it. I think it's an SMA. And you can put your broadcast TV antenna on it and watch broadcast TV on your computer. But you can also use them with HD SDR. I don't think they go below. Some of them don't go. They don't go below 56 megahertz or 50. What is it? They don't go below 50 megahertz. So you have to put a converter in front of it if you're going to use it as a standalone. But if you use it on the first IF out of an old transceiver like I'm doing, you could, like the TS440, the one that you had for a while that Tommy has. I set that up. You could plug a dongle into that and run HD SDR with it.
Ah, yes. Now I remember. And I remember people modding those and using them. That's right. It looks just like a little SDR stick. That's odd. I don't know how the hell that would happen. Crap, I am getting tired now. You called it, so you knew. 9 o'clock. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. There's so many bells and whistles and lights and flashy things to look at when you're keyed up over here. You could just get kind of lost, huh?
Yeah, I yawn first. Yeah, I have all that crap too, but I've been spending most of my time staring at this grid current meter.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're trying to test that thing out. I understand. I'm just trying to notice, like, trends, like when I make small changes or this or that. I've been running slightly different audio for a little while now. Like, I've got that little boost at 9K. And I think that I rolled my high-pass filter in a little more, actually.
Yeah, well, up here during the day, if the band is open, more bandwidth you run, the less over-the-horizon radar is going to try to encroach on this spot of the band, and that's a fact of life.
Yeah, well, that's not a problem for me. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm just limited by the transmitter, whatever those bypass caps we always talk about.
Yeah, I don't remember just what's still in there or isn't, but I think some changes were made to that. I'm not sure. Well, this stupid radio here will really pass the highs. It makes makes my Johnson 500 look not so much fun.
Yeah, you got. You'll see on the SDR, you got. I think, what's my bandwidth right now? Can't reach. Oh my god. I'm trying to do it with my left hand. There we go. 20.21 kilohertz. So I get, yeah, you were past there.
Yeah, let's try this out a little bit, Billy. Let's see what happens. Hello, testing. W2VW. Testing for over-the-horizon radar electronic countermeasures. W2VW.
Yeah, so I widened out to 32K filter, and your S's and stuff were right up there on the edge. What is that, 16K?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I had the 12.5K slider open pretty much there. So you called it pretty close. And who knows how accurate that is. So you may have called it exactly.
Well, I'm just going by the fish finder over here, and I got the 32K filter. That's as far as it goes out for the passband. And you came pretty close to right on the edge of the passband with some of those that stuff. So I figure you were right around 16K.
Yeah, I try to keep far away from existing activity when I get on this band when it's open. Far away.
Yeah, man. I've come to appreciate the wide open spaces like 160 or 29.000 at night, when it's hard to reach out on this frequency. This is stupid. I mean, you're doing a lot of work with the antenna, but it's still pretty stupid.
Oh yeah, Billy, this is a blast, man. This is like, 76 miles away and signals like this. And we could do this on 2 meters. Well, what fun would that be?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sure we could. And I still have those badass 2-meter antennas here. They're just, it still needs some work. They've always needed some work.
Yeah, I have more parts for those, and I have one of those here that's good. I was thinking of sticking it up in a tree. That'd be kind of fun, Get on 2-meter AM. I've got, it's no fun though. It's only a pair of 6146s. I could take one of my Larkans and be a little bit of component changes, but I could make it work there.
Well, 2-meter AM is cool. I don't have any exciters that will do that. I have some, small, I think you gave me a VHF linear here, little guy, and then I have one that's just slightly bigger than that, but no antenna right now, and no exciter that will do advanced modulation.
Yeah, buddy. Well, if anybody wants to get on a net or something here, just let us know, because we're getting ready to leave anyway. I heard somebody tune up here last night at exactly 9 p.m. And they were on 29005. There was a handful of guys that get on here, but I haven't heard them in a while.
Yeah, I was probably sleeping by then. But anyway, yeah, so I'm good. This is a successful test. It's been fun. It honestly is a lot of fun to just operate just on staying in one place on one frequency. Like this is cool. Haven't done this in a while. So it's fun for me too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, if I ever get to it, I'll fix my Johnson Valiant here that use that instead of this. That'll be fun for a while. but let's face it, this thing outperforms everything else I have. It's probably my best sounding radio. And it's someday, Billy. Someday is here. I got my someday antenna, got my someday iMac, and all that crap. So thanks for helping me check it out and making that YouTube. I appreciate it, and it's been fun. Yawn.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, it sounds freaking great. You can say freaking, right? I mean, it's not the best thing to say, but I wanted to emphasize how good it sounds. Signal, all of that. So congratulations. That was funny. That dude from Mexico who came on here could barely speak English, but he wanted to like talk to us, and he was like, congratulations, like your signal very big. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Congratulations, Dave, your signal very big. So good night. It's 9 p.m. Do you know where your children are? W2BTK.
Yeah, thanks to 23andMe, I do. Okay. Good night, Billy. Thanks again. I'll try to get back on here by 8 o'clock, but who knows? I might not have enough coffee to move by then. But that's what I'm going to shoot at. Thanks again. Good night. W2BTK is W2 very weak, and I mean that sincerely.
73OM.